What's happening, gym world? We're getting closer and closer to the end of another week. Hey, it's Thursday. This week seems to be going slow. We're super busy, so we got a lot going on. You know, every day my schedule is cram-packed, so for the next couple weeks, June is a busy month. We've got lots of events at the gym and just transition into our next athlete block and influxing a bunch of adult initiatives at the same time. We've got a couple different marketing initiatives out there for adults, a teacher hall pass, athlete parent appreciation event, which is like a trial for all the parents of our athletes, and lots of different stuff going on. People ask, yesterday I talked a little bit about marketing. You got to learn how to market, right? And I got a little upset and cursed a lot. And because it pisses me off when I see somebody taking all this time to put into a gym and open up a business, which is the ultimate risk in capitalist America. As an entrepreneur, you're the one taking all the risk. It's your name on the lease. It's your name on the mortgage. It's your name on all the credit cards. It's your name on all the bills. And in a sense, it's your name on all the stress, right? So you go home with the stress. Your employees love them, but they get to leave when they leave, or on the weekends or Friday when we check out. We're done at 3 o'clock on Fridays. They get to go check out and go be with their families. Where I go and think about how I'm going to grow this business for another 48 hours, right? So lots of things in there. So everybody asks about marketing. How do you market, right? Our number one marketing tactic is still email. Okay, so email is still our number one, and that's where we get the most engagement. That's where we can communicate back and forth. If you have a good list, that list is extremely valuable. Okay, so, and what do I mean by that? That means that if I've collected leads from people who've either opted into your website, come into the gym, right, called the gym, emailed the gym, you've communicated with on social media and actually collected their email addresses and such, right? That is a good list. Okay, those are people who are interested in your services, right? Let's call those warm leads. Okay, as opposed to just random people who all over the place, right? So a lot of gyms don't even have a list. They're not actively trying to collect emails from a variety of lead magnets on their website or even through social media by asking for emails or asking people to opt in to a newsletter or a lead magnet on your social media, right? So social media, my business partner Dan wrote a whole article about this. You don't own social media. Social media owns you, right? So you don't own the contacts. It's a platform that is owned by somebody else. All right, so you could have 1 million followers and Facebook decides to shut you down because they don't like your content, or they think you're too racy, or they think you're no good, or whatever it might be. And or you're monetizing at too high a rate, right? Like YouTube, I know a guy who had almost 50 million followers on YouTube, and they shut him down, right? Because they wanted to renegotiate his monetization deal. They were paying him too much, and he said no. They said, okay, fine, peace out, right? Thankfully, he had started collecting emails from his people. He turned those 50 million into almost 1 million emails, right? Almost 800,000 emails, right? And made more money with the email list than he did off the social media, right? So your email list is powerful. 1,000 people, right, on an email list is an easy 10,000 followers minimum in terms of the same type of traction that you can gain on social media. So you need to focus on email. And then people say to me, well, email, I gotta write the emails and everything like that. Look, constructing an email is not hard when you have a format and a template, right? And I've talked about this a lot, but always start with the end in mind. So here's a quick template format for writing an email. What's the end goal? Am I trying to make people aware of programs? Am I trying to inspire people to join the gym? Am I trying to educate people as to why they need my services, right? Things like that. Are you going to entertain, inspire, give them information, or directly ask for a sale, right? So, once in a while, we directly ask for a sale. Like, hey, we're selling this product at this time, buy here. And, but we provide a lot of content. Have a bunch of topics, right? Like, so, a bunch of themes in a sense. So, like, let's call it, entertainment, right? I'm gonna tell a story about a time that I was on the beach and felt insecure about myself, and how that translates to my clients, and how we help our clients feel better about themselves and lose weight and get in shape, right? We could tell Dan wrote a great one about how, he always felt like he was a mediocre athlete, right? And wound up being a full scholarship football player, but, through hard work and dedication and commitment, right? So it's like telling a story. I'm entertaining people. I'm providing information and facts, right? The Cleveland Clinic says that blah, blah, blah. Belly fat is directly related to, early death in men, right? So something like that, right? So there's lots of different ways in which you can script an email. It's super simple. I write an email, and it takes me about a half an hour, right? About a half an hour to write most emails, right? And I look at my template. What do I want? What type of information do I want to put out? What's the end goal? Am I trying to get people to sign up for something? Am I trying to just entertain, inspire, motivate, or educate? What's the topic going to be? I want to have some catchy, edgy, funny. It's got to have something that's captivating, right? So it's like I said, it's got to be really great information. If it's just information, it's got to be a funny story that kind of resonates with people, or it's got to be a little edgy, like why cardio makes you fat type deal, right? And then your subject line, right? So your subject line is super important. So the subject line is what sells the email, right? So if the subject line isn't catchy, a lot of times people won't even open it unless they're a really big fan or a personal friend or somebody who actually comes to the gym, one of your clients and such like that. So, it's important that you have a good subject line, and the subject line kind of, let's call it drives your attention, right, and catches your eye, right? And I went to a great sales seminar with Ryan Lee a few years ago, me and the team, and we learned a lot, and there was some really great speakers in there, and one of them was one of the top copywriters in the world, and writes for big time Fortune 500 companies, and has written hundreds of millions of dollars in ad copy, right? And he was working for one of those male enhancement companies, right? And it was all bullshit, but they were selling $1 billion worth of male enhancement, right? Pills. And his best campaign ever was a email went out, and the subject line was, "This will make your dick fall off." So, and obviously, like, every dude that got that email was like, "What the hell's that?" Open that up, right? So, and he sold $150 million worth of pills with that ad campaign. So, the subject line could be catchy, could be racy, could be inquire, like, "Hey, did you know this?" Right? And it's like, "Hey, what's that? What am I supposed to know?" Right? So, people, you have to catch people's eye when you write the email. Are you leading people to something, right? Is there a call to action or a direct call to do something, right? Is it like, "Hey, register here, join now, respond to this email," like those types. You have to tell people what to do. You can't just write an email and then just leave it blank at the bottom, right? Give them something, right? Tell them, even if it's call the gym, check out our website. There has to be something there for them, right? And then basically, every once in a while, like Gary Vee always says, jab, jab, hook, right? You want to provide content and information, inspiration, education, and entertainment, and then every once in a while, you ask for the sale. "Hey, by the way, if you like the emails that you've been getting and you like, some of the information, we'd love to meet you and see if there's a way that we can help you with your fitness," right? Type of deal. Like, super passive. I'm always a passive. Once in a blue moon, a hard sale, like maybe one out of every, 10, things that we put out is like a, "Hey, we're selling a 6-week transformation, join now, or change your life, join now," right? Where, as opposed to most times, "Hey, if you like this email and you like the information, and you're thinking about, your own fitness, we'd love to meet you and see if there's a way that we can help you," like that type of stuff. And it's worked extremely well for us. Now, here's the only difference. We've been really consistent. A newsletter every month for 10 years. You can't beat time and consistency. So if you're going to do emails, pick it, do one a month. Start with one a month, then go to 2. Then go to 1 a week, whatever. We write, we're doing, I'm doing, to different businesses, but I'm doing, probably about 10 emails a week, right? So a lot of different, copy there. So get your emails right, get your marketing right.